silence of the night is a traitor. It tricks you into believing everything is at peace, that the world is sound asleep. But for us, firefighters, the night silence is just the calm before the storm. And the storm arrived, as it always does, without warning. The radio emitted a sharp beep that made my entire body tense, even before the dispatcher's grave voice announced the tragedy. Structural fire, single-family residence, 147 Azalea Street. Possible person trapped. Adrenaline is both a poison and a gift, and in that instant, it injected fire into my veins. We jumped into the truck with a mechanical synchronicity, the result of years of training and countless calls. As the siren tore through the darkness, my thoughts raced faster than the engine, trying to envision what awaited us. Houses, especially old ones, are labyrinths of dry wood and fabric, and fire devours them with frightening ferocity. A labyrinth in flames. It's the worst combination. We arrived, and the scene was even grimmer than I had imagined. Flames were already licking at the roof, casting terrifying, dancing shadows on the street. Thick, black smoke poured out of the windows as if the house were bleeding. And the worst part, the sound. A sound no firefighter ever forgets, the sound of desperation. A woman was screaming hysterically on the lawn, her hands clasped over her face. My son, my baby is still inside. He's in his room on the second floor. My heart sank. A child. The word alone sends a jolt through every one of us. It's a different kind of urgency, a primal, terrifying urgency. Captain Miller, a man with a face etched with the scars of 1,000 fires, gave the orders with a voice that was calm but firm. My team, Unit 3, was designated for the interior search and rescue. Our eyes met for a fleeting moment. No words were needed. We knew the stakes. The heat was an invisible wall, a physical force that hit us the moment we broke down the front door. The air inside was a suffocating mix of smoke, heat, and the acrid smell of burning plastic. It was impossible to see more than a few inches ahead. The darkness was total, save for the sinister, orange glow of the flames in the background. We moved forward, crawling low, feeling our way along the floor. The stairs, a potential escape route, were already engulfed. The only way to advance was through the hallways, with the flames already threatening our path. We moved as one, a human chain of trust and experience. Stay low. Keep communicating. Miller's voice crackled through our comms, a beacon in the chaos. I was the point man, my hand outstretched, searching for a wall, a door, anything. The heat on my back was intense, a constant reminder of the inferno behind us. Every breath was a conscious effort, a careful intake of the precious, filtered air from my SCBA. Suddenly a sound, a faint whimper, muffled by the roar of the fire. I froze, my heart pounding against my ribs. I motioned for the others to stop. The whimper came again. It was coming from the right. I crawled towards the sound, the beam from my flashlight cutting through the smoke. The floorboards creaked ominously beneath me, a terrifying symphony of destruction. And then I saw him. There were two figures on the floor. One of them my fellow team member David. He was unconscious, and a heavy wooden beam had fallen across his leg, pinning him. The whimper was coming from the other person. A little boy, maybe 4 or 5 years old, huddled in a corner, covered by a scorched blanket. His eyes were wide with terror, reflecting the orange glow of the fire. He was so small, so fragile. The sight of him was like a punch to the gut. I knelt down and scooped him up, murmuring reassuring words that I couldn't even hear myself. I felt the heat radiating from his small body and knew that my only priority now was to get him out, and get him out fast. But there was no easy way out. The wall in front of us collapsed, revealing a wall of flames that blocked our path. My heart leaped into my throat. I had to be quick. Using my Halligan tool, I broke through the drywall into the next apartment. The heat was unbearable, but we managed to squeeze through, crawling into a hallway that seemed safer. The boy, clinging to me, was giving me the strength I needed. My comms crackled to life again. Unit 3. The roof on the second floor is about to collapse. Return immediately. Captain Miller's voice was a clear command, but we were still on the second floor. There were still people up here. The decision was impossible. We had to disobey the order, risk our lives to save those still trapped. There had to be a way out. I left the boy with my colleagues and returned to where David was pinned. The flames were closing in fast, the heat almost unbearable. David, wake up. I shouted, but he didn't respond. I started using my axe and the Halligan to try and lift the beam, but it was too heavy. The fire was getting closer, and there was no more time. I looked around and saw a heavy wooden door. In a moment of inspiration, I broke it down, ripped it off its hinges, and used it as a makeshift lever to lift the beam. With a groan, the beam gave way, and I managed to drag David into the hallway. His leg was injured, but he was alive. The relief hit me full force, but there was no time to celebrate. Together with the rest of the team, we scrambled for the exit and found a hallway that hadn't been completely consumed by the flames. The fire escape was on the other side, but the door was jammed. Frustration, fear, the suffocating heat. It all mixed into a feeling of pure desperation. I looked at the boy in my colleague's arms, his face smudged with soot, but with a flicker of hope in his eyes. I couldn't fail them. With the Halligan, I pried the door open, and the daylight poured in, faint but promising. The stairs were there, intact, a lifeline. The descent was a blur. Running, jumping, ignoring the pain in my arms and the weight of my gear. I just wanted them to be safe. I just wanted to get them out of there. When we reached the ground, the fresh air was like a breath of life. I carefully placed the boy on the ground and handed him over to the waiting medical team. His eyes met mine for a moment, a look of silent gratitude, before he was whisked away. The relief hit me with full force. David, my colleague, was attended to by the medical team. He was safe, his leg fractured, but alive. I looked at the building, now a blazing skeleton. Reinforcements had arrived, and the battle against the fire was intensifying. My gaze was lost in the smoke, imagining how many people were still inside, trapped, waiting for a miracle. The work never ends, but in that moment, the look in that child's eyes gave me the strength to continue. Fire may be a force of destruction, but courage, compassion, and teamwork are the only things that can fight it. The struggle continues until everyone is safe. And on that night, the fire was controlled and all lives were saved. For more heroic stories like this, and to support the brave men and women who risk their lives every day, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next story.